Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky. Today we are going to be working on layout number 2 for Mini Kit Monday, February 2023. We are using the story deck by Stacy for our challenge this month. So we had some categories that we had to choose from. You can see the PDF for that over in the Mini Kit Monday challenge group. Also, it came up at the beginning in this video. You can see I am going to be using a sketch. It is a page map sketch. It is in the top left hand corner of your screen. I forgot how much I love to use these sketches. Page maps and Laura Whitaker sketches are by far my favorite. And I have forgotten how much I absolutely love to use sketches, and my layouts just come together so fast when I use a sketch. So I did one day when I was at Kathy's house, I did sit down and use nothing but sketches, and I think I did like 5 layouts that day. It was incredible. It's like the layouts made themselves. It was so cool. But this sketch that I'm using, it doesn't call for a border, but I wanted to go ahead and use a border, so that's what I just did there. Now with our challenges, on this one, the interactive element I'm going to do is going to be a flip. So I have these two about 3x4 underneath, and then I'm going to lay this 4x6 on top. I'm not actually using a flip flap, although you could use a flip flap here if you wanted to. I just made a basic hinge and it will flip open. I didn't want to worry about that just now because it was going to give me a headache. So we're moving on to the rest of the design of our layout before we work on that hinge. We'll work on that in a little bit. So you can see this sketch, it does have a couple strips that go across it. I am going to go ahead and use that zip strip that looks like orange rainbows possibly, or orange scallops, whatever. And then I took a strip of this paper, and it's kind of got that Sundance color and also the glacier on it. I thought that'd be pretty cool. It's strips of this paper right here. Later we're going to do something about that because it's not as cool as what I thought, but I am going to be using it on this piece. And this piece, there was like a piece that called for a banner, but instead of cutting that strip into a banner, I followed that wave, so it kind of just comes up at an angle. It's just a weird shape, you know. I didn't use the banner shape. I just let the pattern paper guide me. This is going to serve as a title. It says Perfect Moment. I will end up putting foam tape on the back of that when I go to put it down permanently. I pulled out this little sticker. Also, it says Make Today Count, a camera, and then a couple little floral clusters we're going to put on there as well. Very basic embellishing. Very, very basic embellishing. We're not quite going to commit to this. If you look at the sketch, you can see there are splatters on there. This is going to make me pull out my texture stamp I have from Close to My Heart and go ahead and stamp some splatters down around the page. See, if I wasn't using a sketch, I would have never pulled that stamp out, and it looks super, super cute. This layout, when it's finished, it looks really cute. I'm going to stamp first generation and then second. And in coming up later, I'll add a little bit more stamping, and I'll do first, second, and third. We'll have a still photo at the end if you want to see how this stamping came out. It's really cute. I also need to take care of the stitching. That was one of the categories. So it's not a trip to Kathy's house without a trip to the scrapbook nook in Colchester. She had these cute little paper piercing tools that it's like a wheel inside there, kind of like a fabric scorer. It's this little wheel inside there that punches little holes into your paper. And I should have practiced with this before I did it on my paper because I pushed a little too hard. And yeah, and also did very, very crooked. So this is going to be my faux stitching though. I didn't stop with just making these holes there. I do go ahead and take a metallic orange gel pen and make some dashed lines in the corners. I make those solid, and then along the sides I make them dashed lines. I don't love that part of this layout, but you don't really notice it too much, and that's what I'm telling myself anyway. Go ahead and flip that back over. You guys can pick one of those pads up over at Close to My Heart. If I remember, I'll link it down below. They're very, very awesome. One side you can use for stamping, and the other side use for your layouts. Get 2 of them, do a double page. Very, very helpful. I actually have 2 of them as well. I don't do double pages very often though. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and commit to the placement of everything. Here I decide I'm gonna get back to this hinge. I am gonna find a piece of scrap paper right here. I just fold it in half, or not in half. I make it's like a 1/2 inch fold. I didn't have a scoreboard or anything, so I just went ahead and folded it by hand and eyeballed it. Used my stamp block to burnish it down. And the ends, I'm going to cut little angles. There's a little angle on that side, and here I'm cutting a little angle on that side. I'll burnish it a little bit more with that stamp block, I think, before I put it down. Nope, I don't. So I'm just going to try and get it centered-ish. You can see it's not quite as long as that piece right there, which is fine. I just want to make sure that the fold is up flush to the very edge like that. We'll go ahead and burnish it right here, and then we can put the top flap on it. Very, very simple. You can make a hinge even with scrap paper. It doesn't have to be cardstock. You can make a hinge for almost anything. And in fact, a lot of the label dies, they're double-sided, and those make really good hinges, especially if they're on a smaller project. Close to My Heart does have some of those label dies that make good hinges. If I remember, I'll link those. I'll probably forget, so you can just look for dies over Close to My Heart and it'll come up. All right, so I'm going to put this 4x6 on the front, and on the inside I'm going to put those 2 4x4 photos. Now this meets the requirement in the category, you know, where it has friends, inside jokes, blah, blah, blah. This is the category group shots, I think is what it's called, or maybe it says groups, I don't know. So I met the category with groups. We did the stitching. We did our interactive element, which is the hinge. And now I need to have an acronym. I don't have one, but it could be in the journaling. So you can either say, yes, I could fulfill this with the journaling, which I can say to you, but this isn't a layout I'm keeping, so I'm not doing journaling on it. So you can say I could fulfill the acronym that way, or you can say, oops, I totally didn't meet the challenge on this one because I'm not using an acronym. So whichever way. I am going to go ahead and commit to the placement of all these bits. And we come back, and you can see now I have a piece of the paper that is like my border. I need to cover up that orange and blue piece right there. It's awful. I'm going to cover it up with that on both sides. And I'm not even pulling off the original. I'm just covering it up. It looked terrible. So now we have got our flowers in place. I'm going to go ahead and commit to this camera right here. You can see that placement moved just a little bit. And then I'm going to commit to the sticker right here. We are going to finish this off with a little bit more stamping, just a little bit more stamping, because some things did move a little bit, so we need a little extra. And then after that, I'll go ahead and pull out the orange enamel dots from Close to My Heart. Our enamel dots, what they are is they are The colors are 3-tone colors. So the orange will have like a deeper orange, medium orange, and a really light orange. And also heart, stars, and dots. See how they're very, got several different choices in one of our packs. That's how our enamels are if you want to pick any of those up. All right, guys, after that, I don't do anything else to this layout. I want to remind you, please hop over to Kathy and Dollie's channels. They have some really cute layouts this month for Mini Kit Monday. Also, hop over to our Facebook challenge group and play along with us. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to support my channel, check the links down below, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.